Hello everybody, welcome to OCHD and welcome to another Jumputi Heroes news video. Today we're going to be talking about the Kawashita Sensei feature, otherwise known as this giant title for this for this event up here. This event is technically only like our second ever Sensei feature. We have had like other things where they've sort of focused on one particular author's works for a little bit, or like, you know, Hunter x Hunter x Yu Hakusho was kind of a Sensei feature. They even did like a little thing where they included Prince Barker and one of the reprints and stuff like that, level E. So we have had similar things, but this is the second ever proper Sensei feature, focusing only on the works from one author, and it's a pretty nice spread. I must say I'm a little bit surprised that we didn't get a new Ayatojo, but I guess we technically did get one in December. Was it December? Well, last year. We got one last year for sure. But yeah, it's a pretty cool. I haven't read all the series. In fact, I haven't read any of them to completion. But I've read like maybe, I don't know, like a handful of chapters of each just to get a rough feel. And I think from what I've read, it seems like they've picked a pretty nice spread of characters. All the sprites look pretty damn good, pretty true to the author's art style. And while it is, yes, a surprise that not only did we not get a new Ayatojo here, in fact, we got two new Ichigo 100% units. They were both limited, and they both got limited before Aya, because she's got so many versions already in Jumputi. The devs have maybe a little bit of bias towards her, but maybe that's switched around now. Who knows? But yeah, pretty nice spread. And let's talk about some of the bonuses, because there are some pretty good ones. First things first, Valentine's Day special login bonus. Make sure you log in on Valentine's Day and get your 500 rubies. Even if you're busy, even if you've got plans, all you got to do is log in and you get 500 rubies. The devs are slowly but surely improving the amount of rubies and stuff and goodies as well that they're giving out, which is what we like to see. There was definitely a period where the goodies felt so bad, like really bad. Now I would say it's still not perfect, but we're definitely moving in the right direction. As long as we continue in this direction, I would hope that by the time the 5th anniversary comes around, we get back to the point we were at once before, where the anniversaries just feel super generous and you get so many rubies, so many goodies, and it's just a fun, awesome time. But for now, you take what you're given, and in this case that's 500 rubies, so make sure to log in. You also get these chocolates, which as far as I can tell are essentially just books. I don't think they give skill EXP, but I suppose I could check. Let me see. Let me find a character that I have that does not have skill EXP. Like, for example, one of the new event units. And let's see what happens when I feed her one of these chocolates. Yep, it does give skill EXP. Well, I'll be. It gives a lot of skill EXP, it seems. Well, I can't say that for sure, because she's... Let me level her up and double check that. Skill EXP. So from level 1, a chocolate would take you up to level 12. Max level, max skill. So actually, hold the phone. This item is not too shabby. I don't know what I was talking about. I say max level. That was level 12. I don't know about level 15. Let's not talk about level 15. But certainly it takes them straight up to level 12 max level. Not too bad. I was about to badmouth this reward, but actually it's pretty good. So make sure to log in, get your chocolates, get your 500 rubies on Valentine's Day only. Then we have the stage that's only available for Valentine's Day. Funny that they did one of these on Christmas Day when a lot of people would be busy, and they're doing the same thing on Valentine's Day. Slightly different stage, but technically the exact same thing. You get a set amount of gold doors each time you clear the stage. You get a random amount of silver doors, and the Muso doors and limit grade doors are only available the first time you clear the stage. You can clear it a total of 22 times. If you're interested in limit breaking all your units, then this will be very good for you. It's only limited to 22 times, so it's not that bad. I mean, with the amount of times you can do like a multi-run or whatever it is, you can do like 6 at once, 7 at once, whatever. You'll probably get through this quite quickly. So It's fine. And limit break, all in all, I still don't think is that important, but it's just a nice way to like say this is one of my favorite characters or whatever. So it's good for the people that want it and for the people that don't. If you're busy, you're not missing out on much. That's all I'm saying. Then we have this event, which is a once a day type thing. So a bit more leisurely than this stage where you got to speed through 22 stages or 22 runs. And this one, you just get the Valentine gift each time you clear it, and you can use it to summon on this gacha. Now, there is a slight issue with this event compared to maybe the JoJo event, where the JoJo event graciously and generously allowed us to select a new hero from this event. But also, it had the new JoJo tickets, which if you got a 5-star, you were guaranteed to get one of the new heroes. So it felt super generous in that regard, at least. This event, I do think it definitely has its upsides in terms of the rewards and stuff. But say, for example, this one, I think the jewel shards are very nice. I think the hero jewels are very nice. And you do get 4 guaranteed 5-stars from this gacha. But it would appear that it's mostly like older units. And we even got a choice ticket as well that was sort of older units. I think like 2021 and earlier, which is not great. Again, I will be fair to them. They've been giving out more freebies, and some of these things are really good for new players, so fair enough. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the main thing I'm pulling on this gacha for is the jewel shards, because I need jewels. But still, nice that they've included some other characters on there for the people that need them, for the people that need dupes. There's still something to it. Then we have the login bonus for the full event rather than just for Valentine's Day. And this one's pretty good. 200 rubies in there. 10 of the special summon tickets for this event. Plus a lot of other standard type goodies. But still, very, very nice. And these tickets... now, I believe... I clicked off it too fast, so I couldn't double check. But I do believe that the other units are on here, despite the fact the ticket doesn't seem to show it. I do think, like, say, for example, version 1 Ayatojo and stuff like that. I think they are all on this gacha. I might be wrong. Call me out if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure I did see them on there. So I don't think you're guaranteed to get one of the new heroes if you get a 5-star. But I think, based on the fact that I've seen a lot of people pulling them, you probably have a good chance of getting them. Unfortunately, I have no way of checking at this exact moment in time whether you can get stuff other than, like, the new heroes. Like, I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure I did see that, like, Ayatojo on there and version 1 Nishino and all of these. But I'm seeing a lot of people pull the new girls. So, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What I can say for sure is if you get a 4-star, it's guaranteed to be her. It's guaranteed to be Yui, which is... I mean, they didn't evolve her in this event, so those dupes are not that useful. But fair enough. Okay, maybe some people don't have her max skill yet. Seems unlikely. But if you get a 5-star, you can get something good from these tickets, and they're giving out quite a few of them, so it's very nice. Then we have the Valentine's special present, which you're going to get some more of those chocolates, it looks like. Jewel fragments. I always get confused. Shards, fragments. It's the same thing, really. 5-star ticket. Some nice rewards. This one, you don't have to log in on Valentine's Day. It's like 2 days either side, so that's pretty cool. And then we have the reading time missions. These are really nice. You get 5 of these tickets per series you read. You don't actually have to read them, of course. There are 4 missions in the extra missions tab. And it just, you can see they have 5 of these tickets as a reward, so they're easy to spot. And all you have to do is click on the button to take you where you do the mission. And it's gonna try and say, hey, I'm gonna open up like your web browser and we're gonna go look at the new chapter or the first chapter of this manga. And then you've just got to click back. That's all you got to do. And then you click on the next mission and you click back. And you click on the next mission, you click back. You do that for all 4 and you get 20 tickets. You don't even have to check out the series. And I mean, realistically, these missions, if you're a Japanese player, sure, you can go check those out. But if you're watching this video or you're browsing this website, realistically, you're probably not going to try and read these series in Japanese. You'd probably just read them in English. They are available on various websites online in terms of official sources. bit more difficult to get your hands on them, but nonetheless, you could read them. But yeah, 23 summons, very, very nice. I didn't get anything on mine, but I hope you get something on yours. And then we have the Doki Doki present, which gives 2 chocolates for clearing 5 adventures each day. Now, I believe that is the 2 chocolates we discussed earlier that gives you the, like, ridiculous amount of EXP and stuff. So, yeah, when I was writing this news post, I was thinking, oh, that kind of sucks because we don't get, like, during the JoJo event, you got, like, the stand arrows. And during the Bobobo event, you got the Bobobo tickets. And it's like, those were, like, nice rewards, nice extra free summons, especially for newer players. But actually, this is pretty good, especially for people that are going to be maybe, like, a bit low on scrolls. Although, at the moment, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty all right because I've been, every time one of those stages comes out where you can just, like, max skill all your characters, I've just been farming that. That's the only thing I was saving my stamina barrels for. But now I'm actually, I'd say, sitting pretty. Only like the event units from the last 2 events or so am I low on EXP for. So I guess I could just use the chocolates on them and happy days. And like I said, I'm not sure about level 15, but certainly get some straight up to level 12 so you don't have to do any leveling on those event units. That is really, really nice. And it's gonna, again, for new players, that's huge. If someone says, oh yeah, this event unit's good, it could help you, just bang, straight to max level. And yeah, I've just checked in the news. It is indeed the same chocolates. So, very nice. Very, very nice. Then we have this event, which is sort of the points event for this. No, it's not a points event. What is this? This is the story event. The story event. So I think there's 2 stages for each series or something along those lines. And you get like a set amount of like tickets and goodies each time you clear one of them. So pretty cool. Definitely worth clearing the stages and getting your rewards. And if you can read Japanese, then you can learn the story of the series. And if not, well, you can enjoy the pictures or you can just press skip. It's up to you. Then we have the daily stage, I should say the other daily stage, and this one does give you one of these tickets every day. So you can get another 12 of those tickets just from clearing the daily stages. Pretty cool. And this one is the points event. Got a little bit confused. This one is the points event, although it's a little bit of the uncommon format. The common format is there's like one item, you farm that one item, you trade it in at the store. This is the slightly less common version where there are multiple items that you have to farm and the stage is open on different days. They try to make it a little bit more complicated. And basically, at the moment, you can only really farm Film 1. You can get a little bit of Film 2 and Film 3 when you clear the special stage each day. But realistically, in order to get the stuff from the store that you need, you'll need to wait for the stage to open for that and the stage to open for that to do it properly. Plus, some of the items aren't available in the store yet. You have to wait until this one's available for all of the items that require that one to be available. And then same for this one as well. So it's sort of staggering your farming a little bit. If you finish the Transcendent class events or whatever, then you use the rest of the stamina to farm Film 1. But then the Film 2 stage comes out. So it's sort of like an extra thing to farm, but not really. I do actually think it's not a bad way to stagger things a little bit. Some people might disagree. I think some people like to just get things done and then crack on with their life. But for those of us that are just using their daily stamina, it's not bad. It's not bad. And you can get the emblems. I personally don't usually partake in purchasing the emblems, especially because typically they're quite expensive. And I think that's kind of the point. It's supposed to be like a big sink for the points, and so anybody who's big into the series is going to spend a lot more time on the game because they're trying to get the points to get the emblems and get the other rewards. And the more time you spend on the game, the more likely I think it is that you might spend on the gacha or something. I guess that's the idea. I don't know. But I personally will not be purchasing any of these. I will, however, be purchasing these. You need these items to unlock one of the rewards. So you have to wait for this film to come out in order to get this item. Of course, that's already out day one of the event. But this one, you're going to have to wait for this one, and so on and so forth. I got those in the right order? I hope so. But the point is, you're going to want to bring your boosted units. You're going to want to farm these stages, and I think it's going to be one of those slightly more tedious grinds, but still, you know, it's something to do. It's something to do. And the thing I mentioned before, what you need these for, is this event here. It's not really an event. I say it's a campaign. It's not much of a campaign, but basically you get a choice ticket. Now it says choice ticket. I think it's a standard choice ticket. It might be another one of those ones that lets you choose one of the heroines. It might be, I might have misread it. It might only let you choose between these 3 girls. I'm not really sure, but what I do know is it is unlikely it will let you choose anything from 2022 or 2023. So bear that in mind, even though this is sort of like a luxury reward for this event. It's not that luxury. I have actually gone and checked because I was curious. And I can confirm that version 1 Aya Tojo, Nishino, the other Aya that came out towards the end of last year, and Satsuki are all on the ticket. So while yes, I have seen a lot of people pulling like Lilim and some of the other new standard gacha units, you can get screwed over. And actually looking at the percentages, they are all the same. So you have 5% chance to get a 5-star, and then once you get a 5-star, you have, I think, like more than a 50% chance to get a unit that didn't come out during this event. So not ideal, but still we're getting a lot of free summons, so you know, swings and roundabouts. Anyway, let's talk about the actual Farmable event units. We have Misaki Yamamoto from Hatsukoi Limited, or First Love Limited. Nice sprite, cool design. She's supposed to be like a cool character. I've read the chapter she was introduced in, but I haven't read much more. Seems alright. Hatsukoi Limited out of all the series seemed like the weirder one, but I guess I was only like 2 chapters in. When I say weirder one, I don't mean like, I mean one of them has a succubus in it, so obviously that's quite weird, but I mean in terms of like the storytelling, as far as I'd gone, it was a bit different to the others. But nonetheless, she seems pretty cool. Transcendent class unit should be easy for most people to clear. Then we have this event that allows you to get a special emblem, but only one. Bear that in mind. Once you clear this stage, you get this little voucher, and you can trade it in for one of these. You cannot choose more. It's possible this event will be reprinted in the future and stuff like that. You might be able to choose others, but I feel like the point of this is like you're supposed to choose your favorite. And if you're an Ichigo 100% fan, you'll have your favorite. You'll have your best girl. And so you'll choose your best girl. Personally, I haven't even tried the stage yet. A lot of the time I don't clear these types of events, so I don't know if I'm going to. But if I did, who would I choose? Based purely on what I have read of Ichigo 100%, I mean, Nishino kind of feels like the best. Personally, I'm quite a big fan. Her confession scene that's a bit later in the series, pretty cool. Quite a big fan of that. So might go for that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Again, they've included Yui here. I'm really disappointed they didn't just give her like her awakening stage. You're gonna pull from this ticket. You're going to pull an unholy amount of copies of Yui, because she's the only 4-star. There are no 3-stars. So if you don't get a 5-star, and there's a 95% chance that will happen every time you summon, you get her. That's the only unit there. And with some events that makes sense, like Rukia in the Bleach event, because you can feed the copies of Rukia into the Rukia that is evolved, and you can get her to max luck, max skill, whatever. Same with like the Naruto event and Sakura. In this event, she hasn't got her evolution, so I don't get it. You should have just given her the evolver. Maybe that was in the plan. Maybe things have changed. Who knows? But you're going to get a lot of copies of her. It's a bit sad that she's included in the lineup, but not included enough to get her evolver. Then we have Miu Shirai from Lilim Kiss. again, based on what I've read of the series, haven't read that much. My impression of this character is she's odd. I read a chapter where I think she's trying. I might be wrong. I think she was trying to kill off like the main girl or something. I don't really know. But yeah, cool sprite. I don't have much to say there. Easy farmable. And another one we have is Kanade Sakurai. Now, Anadoki's actually really quite short. I feel like a lot of these sort of... basically anything other than Ichigo 100% is a little bit on the shorter side, but Kanade has like a change halfway through the series where like her hairstyle changes. She has like really long hair and then it goes down to like this. I don't know what you call it. It's like a bob. Is it a bob? Might be a bob. I don't know. But I guess they've chosen the later design when making her. But I had a lot of trouble when I was first looking it up and I was like, it says this character name, but she looks completely fucking different. What the fuck did they use as source material? But no, it is indeed the same character. She just completely changed her hairstyle. And again, sprite looks pretty good. I don't know the source material too well, so I can't say for sure. But still pretty good. And then this stage, I was talking about the confession scene, and they made it into an event, and they gave us a little stamp, and yeah, it's pretty cool. If you're wondering why I think she might be, I haven't read all of Ichigo 100%, but if I had to choose on the spot why she might be my favorite, yeah, probably justifiable after seeing some of the stuff for this event. And love the chat stamp, the I love you chat stamp, very, very nice. And I'll probably try and beat this one. I don't normally try and beat the challenges, but we'll see. And then we have the Backslot campaign, which gives some nice rewards. 5 more of them tickets, Valentine gift, 100 rubies, and some limit break doors. All very good stuff. A little bit of motivation to max out these characters. Do we only have 3 event units? Have I counted right there? Yeah, we do, because we have 1 from each series that got a standard gacha unit, and then there's the limiteds just count at the like stages like this. Okay. Very, very cool. Moving on to the tower boost. Same stuff as always. Boosted in tower units from this event. Simple as. And then the limited gacha. 2 units on the same banner. This is sort of a double-edged sword. I think we all agree. There are some times when you really wish your character was just on a standalone banner and you could get them guaranteed for less than 10,000 rupees. And there are other times when you're a big fan of the series and you just want everything from it. You want both limiteds, and in which case, I suppose a banner like this is much more favourable because it's going to work out cheaper than 2 separate, almost 10k banners. I do like the fact that we have 3 standard gacha units on here that you can get on the way up. I'm not a big fan of the fact that you can't get them all guaranteed on the way up. You get a guaranteed hero grade unit here. You get one here. No choice ticket for the hero grade unit unless you count this one, but realistically you're going to be using that on the limited if you've gone that far. I suppose there is the hypothetical scenario where you get, for example, Nishino here, and then on the 15th multi you pull Satsuki, and then you have both the limiteds and you still have that ticket sent to your gift box, and you decide, you know what, I'll use that on one of the heroes. But that's like... that's so dumb. That's so niche. I don't know why at least this one couldn't be like a choice ticket. Or maybe like I mean, I appreciate there's a lot of guaranteed 5 stars on the way up. There's a good chance that you're going to get like at least 2 out of the 3 anyway. But there is a world where you only get 1 out of the 3 heroes. And I think that's kind of lame. I guess it's a bit different with this one because you might well be a fan of Ichigo 100%, but know very little about these 3 series. In which case you might not be that bothered. But I just kind of wish they'd just give you the, you know, if I do the whole banner, I get everything. Like, I like that. I don't know. I guess you can just firm the L and just say, look, I didn't get everything I wanted. I will get them next year. There will be an opportunity next year to get them at my own pace. A choice ticket if I want to wait till summer. Add it to the pool if I only want to wait till December, or until January, February time, I suppose. But hey, whatever. Point is, sprites look pretty damn cool. I don't know. I think Lilim Kiss out of all the series, I wasn't that excited about, but the sprite does look quite nice. So I don't know. And all in all, pretty cool banner. I think this is a very different approach to an event, very different approach to limiteds, and I'm all for it. I like them trying some new stuff. And with these new units, we have a new ability, Fawn Bubbles. We've talked about this in the past. Technically, their name has changed, but I'm a little bit hard-headed because I like the name Fawn Bubbles, but technically they're sort of called Spike Bubbles now. I don't know, but basically the Fawn Bubbles, the idea is there are good Fawn Bubbles and there are bad Fawn Bubbles. One thing I think they didn't really explain that well in their video covering it is the fact that the bad Fawn Bubbles they showed was realistically supposed to be intended as like a stage boss type thing where they inflict it to you. It's not like the bubbles I've got here are gonna go bad. It's like a boss can inflict those to you on a stage, and then you gotta deal with them. Or you can give yourself the good ones, and then you can use those to your benefit. Now the way they work, it's not that different from like the way paint bubbles behave, I suppose, where they connect together, but they're supposed to be like, I don't know, just like you hit them in passing and they're doing like a passive ability type thing. In the case of paint bubbles, when you pop them, they make a paint explosion that might be a column, or it might be a row, or it might be a big splash or an X shape or whatever. In this case, when they pop like a normal bubble, but their passive thing is they inflict a debuff to the enemy if it's a good bubble. If it's a bad bubble, it inflicts a debuff to all your team members. And the damage of that debuff depends on who put the bubbles down and the strength of their ability at the time and so on and so forth. The same as any debuff, like when you get burned or when you get poisoned. And that ability at the end of the turn is just going to slap some damage on. And if you've hit the good bubbles, it'll hit the enemy. And if you've hit the bad bubbles, it will hit you. But obviously, we don't really need to worry about these that much because they're only going to appear in stages, if an enemy puts them down. These are the ones we got to worry about. These are the ones that our units added during this event have added. And I don't know if they've added all the types of these yet, but they've said in the future more units will be added that implement this ability. And essentially, if I have like, let's say 30 red bubbles on the board, are there even 30 bubbles on the board? I assume there are. Let's say we have 30 red bubbles on the board and 5 of them are red paint bubbles because I've used a special ability to give 5 red paint bubbles. I can chain all those reds together and it will hit the red paint bubbles along the way, obviously, because they'll be part of the chain. And it will inflict that damage at the end of the turn to the enemy. They'll get this little debuff here and that will spike them at the end of the turn. I don't know moving forward if this is going to be like some super special awesome ability or whether this is just going to be a kind of another thing, another way to deal damage. It's not even really damage over time because it's just at the end of this turn. But it's interesting. It's something new and I'll be interested to see how it is moving forward. Especially like, I like the idea of heart spike bubbles because it's like you could hit them all and you could heal and you could deal no normal attack damage, but you could still inflict spike and deal damage that way, which is pretty cool, especially on a stage where there might be like counter to worry about, where you wouldn't be attacking them and the damage would be after the end of the turn, so they wouldn't counter after that, so you'd actually get away with it. It's kind of, there's some interesting applications to it. I think there is definitely, based on the new limited's abilities, there's some upside potential there. Personally, don't know how to feel about them, but still pretty cool. Then we have a whole bunch of stuff. Let's start off with the Heroines limited gacha. I was hoping we'd get a free multi on this, but we did not. There are lots of units featured on this, and it's pretty standard. 10th multi guaranteed limited, 15th multi guaranteed choice ticket. But I think there's a lot of units on here that people might have missed out on in the past, that they might be tempted for, especially like new players. Because, I mean, say for example, you only started playing in January, and you're like, oh, like I really wanted that new Boa Hancock, but I missed out on it. It's like, well, you can pull, and then on the 10th multi, you get a random unit, and if it's Boa, you could stop. And then if it's not Boa, you could take whatever that unit is. It's probably quite a good unit, and you could go up to the 15th and then get lower off the choice. So there are upsides to it, but of course, banners have gotten expensive. And yes, their rewards have been slowly improving. I think they've been slowly tweaking their sales packs to make them a bit more, maybe a bit more attractive, a bit not generous. I'm not going to say generous because you're spending your hard-earned money that you got from doing your job or you know, something like that. Money that you probably need, and you're spending it on, well, rubies in an anime gacha game. It's not great, is it? But if you do want to do that, I think they should offer some decent sales packs, and I don't think we're quite there yet, but things are improving. So we'll talk about some of those sales in a little bit. But yes, with a banner like this one, it's going to cost you 15 mois. It's kind of tough to recommend, but I do think it's cool that they offer it for somebody that does want it. Then we have these packs, which I think is an attempt again to try and like tempt you. 100 rubies for 160 yen is, it doesn't quite hit my quota, but that being said, it's not the worst price they've ever put out. And you get a 5-star ticket as well. It's you know, it's a mid pack. It's a mid pack. This pack is not for me. 1200 yen for 300 rubies. I don't care about limit break doors, so that's just not worth it. This pack is awful. And that applies to this one as well. 5% chance at a limited. Come on, guys. I know, 4,900 yen. There are packs that give you a guaranteed limit of 4,900 yen. This one gives you 10 5-star units, which could be a whole bunch of crap. There's no guarantee it's going to be something good. And then a 5% chance at a limit. That's so poor. That's so poor. And they did it twice. It's so bad they did it twice. So I don't recommend either of those, as you can imagine. Then they've sort of been slowly bringing back these packs where it's like, here's the new heroes on a ticket and here's a bunch of other stuff. Again, as I think I said during the JoJo event, I think this is not the worst value they've offered in the past, but especially in this event, I don't think it's worth it. You are going to get a lot of free summons. And you'll probably get one of these units anyway. I wouldn't pay 6,400 yen for it. I know you get a bunch of other stuff, which is cool. 1,000 rubies is nice, but it's not worth it for me. And then we're going to talk about other news and leaks. Now, 100 Fest is returning. If you don't know what 100 Fest is, 100 Fest was the special celebration they had to celebrate the fact that we reached 100 series in the game. And that was a pretty cool event. They are bringing it back. I think only for 4 days. It's going to be this Ichigo 100% event. It's not Ichigo 100%. Kawashita Sensei event ends on the 24th. And I assume this is going to go from the 24th until the 28th or like midnight just before midnight. Because the next event, which I'm assuming it should be Medica Box, I believe will be starting at midnight 1st of March. So this event is going to take us until there. It'll be interesting to see how they handle the timings and stuff for this, because assuming it does start midnight of the 1st, what's that? That's a Wednesday. That's normally the time they like to release events, to be fair. But then they've got like this 4-day buffer. It's possible, it's plausible. We're getting a bit to like conspiracy theory territory here. It's plausible that, say, on the 25th, 26th, or 27th, or even on the 28th, there might be some sort of hidden content, because this is a really weird event to be reprinting without any particular reason. So they might be hiding something. There might be something cool coming. I don't know. But what I can tell you is that they have brought back the costumes. If you missed out on these costumes right now, this is a really sick event. If you missed out, this is the points event in particular. You farm the points, and you can trade them in for rewards. They've updated these rewards. They got jewels on here, jewel shards, and summon tickets, and all this stuff. Plus, there are 4 multi-tickets. You can get one of each, and one of them will guarantee you Goku, one will guarantee Naruto, one will guarantee Ichigo, and one will guarantee Luffy. Now, these tickets... Obviously, we're talking about version 1 here, but still, it's a free multi that gives you that character plus some other stuff. and you can get costumes for each of them. So if you missed out on this before, this is a good opportunity to get that, because this probably won't come back that often. And they're giving us some rubies, they're giving us a choice ticket, some other stuff for maxing out the characters in this event, which if you missed it before, you'll have the opportunity to do so. And if you didn't miss it before, I assume you just get those rewards when you log in. There's probably like 100 rubies there, so pretty cool. This is quite nice, but it's a bit odd, right? It's a bit odd. JoJo was cut a little bit short, like I would say 2 days short of what I would have expected the event to be. And then this event, the Kawashita Sensei event, was about 2 days shorter than I expected it to be. And they took those 2 days and they put that into this reprint. And I don't necessarily hate the idea, especially because the point store is going to give a bunch of goodies and stuff, and it gives us like a countdown to Medica Box and all that. But it just feels like suspicious timing. I don't know. We have the Tower anniversary this month, which has gotten a little something. But then the Sparks anniversary, which seems to be adding nothing. And I don't know. I think we had a lot of expectations of things that might be stuffed into this month that haven't shown up. And I wouldn't rule out the possibility that some of those things may appear during this little reprint thing, during this little returns event. We'll wait and see. It's very, very, very possible, even likely, you might say, that this is just a standard reprint. And it's just going to be a little bit of a cooling off period, a last opportunity for people to pull on the Ging banner before it goes away. And this event goes away and we move on to Medica Box. But bear in mind, they've thrown a lot of bamboozles our way recently, so I wouldn't be surprised. Now, let's talk about the Tower 4th anniversary. We have a special emblem to celebrate. I assume you'll get that from standard Tower missions. They also have some new emblems that are related to rankings in Tower, but no idea how we get these yet. I don't know if they've actually said. I mean, I can check right now if there's been any update, because the new season of Tower should have just started, but I don't think we're at the 4th anniversary stuff just yet. I have a feeling that's going to be next week. The 4th anniversary of Tower is technically on the 25th, but normally they do celebrate it a little bit earlier. And in this case, the new Tower unit, which I mentioned it down here, the new Tower unit we would have been expecting to see today, but we didn't get that. Instead, what they have done is they've removed the previous featured Tower unit, and they have taken 2 other Tower... I say Tower units. I'm pretty sure they said Tower units in the news, but if you actually look in there today, there are legend summons there. So I guess we're doing the legend... I don't know if we're only doing the legend summons or what, I don't know, but the legend summons are featured at a lower price than normal. They normally cost 2,000. You can get them for 1,000. I'm really hoping they put some actual characters there. And those are going to rotate out weekly. So I don't know if... I mean, that means for now we're not getting a new Tower unit. I have a feeling we're not going to get a new Tower unit until the anniversary, because that's when Super Tower is supposed to be added. So, you know, end of March, start of April, around that time, we're supposed to be getting the Super Tower update. We'll probably get our new character there. Which means until that point, no new Tower units, it would seem. And just reprints in Tower, just putting different legend summons or different characters up at half price, which is good for some older players, to be fair, but for everybody else it's not particularly exciting. But as far as I know, these emblems here I don't think have been implemented in any way. Not yet. Now, whether this is something that will be added during the Tower 4th anniversary, or whether this is something that is supposed to be added for Super Tower and it just got put in a little bit too early or something like that, I guess that remains to be seen. I don't know when we're going to find that out, but I guess soonish. But these emblems kind of already exist in game, or at least they're very similar emblems. They're just not golden, and they have like swords on them. I have a feeling this is a Super Tower thing. I guess it might come during Tower Anniversary. I don't know. Point is, I'm excited to see what they do with Super Tower. Even though I'm not a big fan of the Tower game mode, I'm just hoping it just shakes things up, spices things up. We get some good rewards, some new characters and stuff. I guess we'll see. Then we have the birthday gacha. Now, bear in mind, the steps on the birthday gacha aren't confirmed. Giyu and Tanjiro, or rather just the Giyu birthday banner, it was cheaper than I expected it to be. But it's kind of harder to tell if it's going to be, because it doesn't say in game what the steps are going to be just yet. Kazuki Oden is old enough that putting him on the 8th multi would make a lot of sense. But at the same time, was the Giyu banner only so cheap because there were 2 units featured on it instead of 1? I don't know. And we have the same issue with Shinobu's banner. I would normally expect there to be 10 multis because she only came out last year, but again, Giyu and Tanjiro only came out last year, and that banner was only 8 multis. So I'm hoping that with this new banner format, well, the new design you can see here, I'm hoping that we've just completely shifted towards 8 multis for every single one. I don't know if that will be true or not, but regardless, all the free summons I am very, very happy with. Then we have the peak, the pinnacle, the greatest thing, the thing I have been waiting for, which is Kinnikuman Soldier being added to Jumputi Heroes. We have got the only new thing added for the Tower Anniversary that's like a new character or something along those lines is this new limited Kinnikuman Soldier. This is a character that I have been waiting to be added to the game for so long. It's been so long since we've got some new Kinnikuman content as well. And it's very exciting for me. I was so tempted to go for Jolene. I was so close. But I said, you know what? I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait until the data downloaded. I'm going to have a look. And depending on what's there, we'll make our decision. And this banner drops, and oh my god, it is amazing. It is amazing. It's nothing super out of the ordinary in terms of the steps, but it's amazing for me because it has one of my favorite characters in all of Shonen Jump as a new limited being added to the game. He's probably going to be busted as hell because he's for Tower Anniversary. They've put 3 other units, and I don't have any of them. So if I happen to pull any of the other units on the way up, then that's going to be a brand new limited, which I'm A-okay with. And the way they formatted it means on the 10th multi, you get a choice ticket and you can just choose him. So no messing about. It's not like a random limited on the 10th multi. I get to the 10th and I get my boy. I'm so excited. His sprite looks so good. I am delighted beyond belief. I was so shocked when I was looking through the data and I saw the character ID before I saw any of the images and stuff, and I'm like, 40. I haven't seen the ID for series 40 in a long time. Which one's that? And then when I realized it was Kinnikuman, I was like, oh my god! And yeah, it's so good. I'm so happy. So I will be pulling on this, as you can imagine. You can expect a video on that whenever this drops. I don't know when that's going to be. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I don't know. Technically, I don't know if these are the only units featured on this banner. There might be more. But we'll wait and see. The important thing is that on the 10th multi, I can get my boy. That's all that matters. And then we have this other banner, which is actually also very, very good. Seemingly, each multi will be full price. So that's 1,000 rubies. You could only do 3 multis on this banner. So that's a total of 3,000 rubies. And for those 3,000 rubies, and you technically don't even have to do the final one if you don't want to, but it's whatever. First multi, guaranteed 5-star, and you get 60 limited grade limit break doors sent to your gift box. Then the second multi, again, 1,000 rubies, so we're at 2,000 now. You get a battle-ready limited gacha ticket. So for 2,000 rubies, you're getting a guaranteed limited. Admittedly, we don't know what the pool looks like for that. If it's just these 4 characters, then that's amazing. If there's like tons of more characters on there, a bunch of older ones and stuff, might not be as good. But with the way the updates have been going and the level 15 and all that stuff, you might need the dupes anyway. It might be worth it. I don't know. We'll see. But nonetheless, a limited for 2,000 rubies is very good. And then on the third multi, 1,000 rubies again, and you get 30 jewel shards. So 3 jewels. So all in all, this one's really good. Obviously, you can only do 1 rotation. And I guess we'll wait and see in terms of whether that ticket is as good as I'm hoping it will be, because if it is just these 4, then that is crazy. But I would imagine there probably is some more characters on there. And I actually, you know what, if it is just these 4, and I get Tengen, and he's the only one I've already got, I'd be fuming, but irrelevant. Then we have the 7-step gacha. The 7-step gacha is normally relatively good value, but I think, again, with this close to the anniversary, like the anniversary is very close, guys. And, you know, Muso's, it probably won't be a Muso this time, be Densetsu. We don't know who it's going to be, but there's obviously a lot of huge characters as candidates. Characters like Atem from Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters like, what was his name? The first Magic Prince or Wizard King or whatever his name is from Black Clover. There's so many characters. Like, if I try and list them all off in my head, I'll lose my mind. But we don't know who it's going to be yet. So we are in a tough spot. I feel like a banner like this might not be worth spending on, even though it might be tempting. But still, as far as value goes, not the worst. Then we have these gachas for 100 Fest. These ones feature the protagonists. Pretty cool that you actually have a chance to pull all of these on the way up, but then on the 9th multi you get the guarantee. Kind of wish it was a choice ticket instead, because there might be some people who are like, oh, I really want, I don't know, what's a good example? Oh, I really wanted Battle for the Universe Goku, but I got Extreme Evolution Goku instead, or, you know, something like that. It doesn't matter, because technically you get the newest, bestest version of the character on the 9th multi, which I think is far preferable to a random unit on the 9th multi. But I think a choice ticket would have been just that little bit nicer, a little bit, you know, whatever. But still very, very cool that they've reprinted these. Again, probably wouldn't be spending on these this close to the anniversary, but it's there if you want it. I feel like this is the kind of thing you kind of could just have on permanently. Just like, oh, yeah, if you're new to the game, you really like Ichigo, you could just pull on the Ichigo gacha. But I don't think they're going to do that. And then we have some more sales packs. We'll quickly breeze through some of these. These ones suck, don't buy them. This one, the value's not very good. This one, the value's not very good. This one, I feel like they've made an attempt to improve the value, but it's still, in my opinion, it's not very good. Now this one, so here we go. So this is the special limited choice ticket pack, but they have the super special choice limited ticket whatever pack. Anyway, basically it's the same pack, except the price, while the same, and the rubies while the same, and the ticket, while at least similar, if not exactly the same, while that stuff will be staying the same, you will also get one of each jaw, 3 ultimate scrolls, and 30 limited grade limit break doors. So it's just that little step up. I still think this pack is not worth buying, but it's that little step up, little step closer to making it worth buying. So I appreciate the progress in that regard, at least. And then we have this pack, which is, again, 4,900 for a guaranteed limited. When some of these packs, where was this pack up here that was like 6,400 for like, well, this one was 4,900 for a 5% chance limited. And then there was a pack up here that, wait, where was it? This pack is 6,400 and you get like a, I know there are other items involved in the packs, but 6,400 for a new hero when you could get a limited for 4,900 seems kind of silly. And this one gives you a guaranteed protagonist, but I think if you look at the lineup there, it's almost misleading. It almost gets you. Battle for the Universe Goku is not the newest Goku. Mugetsu Ichigo is not the newest Ichigo, which makes me think it's not just the newest from each protagonist, it's all of them from each protagonist. So most likely, you might get ripped off, so you got to be careful. But you do get a limited 30 limit break doors and 500 rubies. I don't necessarily think it's worth buying, because it is random and all that stuff, but still, again, the prices are moving slightly more in the direction I would like them to. Then we have this one, similar sort of thing, 4,900 yen for a guaranteed limited. The limiteds on these tickets are most... You're not guaranteed to get something incredible, but I feel like it's going to feature 4 incredible red limited units for the tower. I might be wrong, but I think that's the idea behind these packs. Whereas this one, if you got like one of the older, like Ichigo, Naruto, whatever, if you got one of the older ones, you might be pretty pissed off that you spent 4,900 on that. This one doesn't give you any rubies, but it's guaranteeing you like a newer, much better unit. You might get a newer, much better unit on here, but there's no guarantee. This one does give you some sort of guarantee. Plus, you're going to get 3 other units that are red that are probably decent standard Gacha units for tower. Again, I could be wrong because we don't have full info on this pack yet, but it looks to be the case. And you know what? It's not bad. It's just no rubies. If you bang 1,000 rubies in that pack, I might be tempted to say it's worth buying. But as it stands, it's a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky. I don't know. But they have one of those for each color, which is pretty cool. Then they have this pack. Anything where it's like this % chance to get something. If the other % chance is you get nothing, it's not worth it. So like, say for example here, you've got a chance of getting one of however many pretty good tower units. And if you don't get those tower units, you'll get another different tower unit. You might not get the one you want, but you'll get something decent. So this one, a bit less so, but you're guaranteed a limited at least. You've got a chance to get the one you want, you get a chance to get some random bullshit. But you'll get a limited. This pack, you have a 10% chance to get one of the new 5 stars, but that means you have a 90% chance to get fuck all. You take 160 yen and you just throw it into the river. Admittedly, you do get 50 rubies, so it's not all hope is lost. But you could spend 160 yen and get 100 rubies. So why would I spend 160 yen and get 50 rubies and a chance at one of the new heroes when I could get 100 rubies and a guaranteed 5-star? Admittedly, that guaranteed 5-star is not going to be as good as these new heroes, but I just want the rubies, bro. I just want the rubies rather than selling myself short. And then we have these packs, which, to be honest, the value's not really there for me, because the 5-star tickets don't guarantee you anything good in particular. So it's just not for me. Admittedly, they do have a lot of goodies here, but I don't think it's worth it. And then we have this pack, which is 3,900 yen, 500 rubies, 5. I don't care. It's not worth it. Most of these packs are still not worth it, but we're moving in the right direction. And that's basically it for this video. I don't know what else is coming. Obviously, 100 Fest, they could be hiding something. I'm not going to promise you that they are, but the devs have been very sneaky with some of the stuff they've been doing, especially when they just drop Ging out of nowhere. So just keep your eyes peeled. No, we're not getting a tower unit, but we are getting a new tower limited. Like, there could be some other stuff hidden. We'll have to wait and see. But now, I've told you what we do know. And if anything else comes up, I'm sure I'll let you know then. But until then, hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you all next time.